Nicole Joy, welcome to In Her Era.
Thank you for having me.
I am so excited to have you today.
too.
I think it is a conversation that definitely needs to be had because you are a woman that just exudes confidence, whether that is on stage, whether that is on camera, behind the scenes, in social media, in your photos. You just look like someone who is just a confident human. And I do wonder, I have this curiosity, I've always thought about it. Is confidence, do you think, something that is taught and learnt? Or do you feel like confident people are just born with it?
Absolutely not. Yeah. That's the biggest myth, is that you are either born confident or not, that you somehow missed out on the confidence genes when you were brought into this world, which is absolute rubbish. So when people say, oh, I'm just not a confident speaker, or I'm terrible on camera, I'm just not good at that. It's a lie that they keep telling themselves, which is a form of self-sabotage. And they will stay like that. You will stay a shit speaker and you will stay terrible on camera as long as you tell yourself that. And when you open up to the realization that it is actually a skill set that you can be taught, then everything changes.
Yeah, I love that. I think you're right. I think it's something that you can be taught, be learnt. But I think a lot of the time we hear people being like, I'm just not confident. I'm not confident enough on camera, or I don't feel confident enough to share my story or things like that online. What would you say to someone? What would be some steps for them?
Well, one, the fact that it's not something that you're born with. It's a skill set. But they're not scared of speaking. We speak every day to everyone around us. They're scared of judgment. So you work on your fear of judgment and you will get better at speaking. And I know that is easier said than done, but I'll never forget a quote from a spiritual author and teacher, Carolyn Miss. And it was, I think I listened to it, she was in a podcast and I was listening to her, and she said, the people that you let stop you, when it's all said and done, when you're staring at the pearly white gates, when life is over as we know it, they are not going to be there handing out a gold star because you listen to them.
I love that.
The only person you have to face is yourself. So you're going to let those people stand in your way?
Yeah.
And I remember hearing that, and that was maybe 5-6 years ago, and it has just stuck with me because judgment, and I actually wrote a post about this the other day, judgment never comes from people who are doing great things, who are doing more than you, who are in the places where you want to go. Judgment comes from the people who are too chicken shit to take the action towards what they want. Yeah. And seeing you doing it triggers in them that they haven't done it yet and they don't feel comfortable and they don't like the fact that you're out there doing the thing because they're too scared to. Yeah. So I think that's it is an important concept to remember when you go to post the reel, speak on a stage, say yes to a speaking opportunity, say yes to a podcast even. And remember that those people's opinions don't matter. At the end of the day, they don't matter. I know it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
However, it's one of those skills that you need to master. You need to tell yourself that. So your self-talk around that needs to be, they're going to talk anyway, because people do, right? I had a situation about 3 or 4 months ago, and it was really when She Speaks was taking off, and still tiny little bit in the back of my mind was, am I qualified enough to do this? I don't have a speaking degree, a vocal coach degree. I'm not a TEDx speaker, TEDx speaking coach, but not a TEDx speaker. And I don't think I was at the time. And there was that little bit of doubt. And I came across this Facebook post in a group full of women that I respected and spoke to. Some I'd even met in person. And they were tearing me and She Speaks down.
Really?
Someone had asked a question about, tell me what you think about this She Speaks. I have to pay for it. It sounds like one of those, in the speaking world, there's this term pay to play, where you pay to get on a stage. And I'm not a big fan of that either.
Yeah.
You should be paid to speak. However, as you know, my program is a program. You get taught and then you get the opportunity with the professional footage and the videos and all the things. So it's a whole big experience. It's not just give me some money to get on my stage. Anyway, I looked at all these women talking. ripping it to shreds and saying that their programs were better. It was funny. One of the ones that I really looked up to and respected, she chimed in first and said, oh, I know who you're talking about. She's XYZ, but my program is so much better because I get all this. These are women older than me. And I remember seeing all that. So they triggered the, maybe I'm not qualified, maybe I'm not, or maybe I shouldn't do this, all the things. And then I went to bed, slept on it, meditated, as we do. And I woke up the next morning to another Stripe notification of someone joining and paying in full. I woke up to a collaboration request. I woke up to all this beautiful feedback. And I thought, they're going to talk anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm still doing my thing and all of this success is happening and they're still talking. Mm-hmm. So whether you're – it really doesn't matter if you're going to sit and be silenced by that, they'll talk about you for being silent and scared.
Yeah.
And then if you go and do it, they'll talk about you as well. Mm-hmm. So I want everyone to know that people are going to talk about you, and if the people that are or the people that are talking about you, they don't have anything better to do. They're certainly not headed where you're headed.
Yeah. I find it so interesting because when you were saying a quote about like people, basically they're not doing anything. They're like the chicken shit. They're too scared to do anything. It's like that quote from, is it Eleanor Roosevelt or Theodore Roosevelt, where it's about being in the arena. It's like
Is that Brene Brown?
Brene Brown quoted
it. Yes, you're right, of course, but where it originally came from.
Yeah, and it's about like the people don't take advice from people on the grandstands because
in the
they're
cheap
not,
seats.
Yeah, they're not in the arena doing the whole thing. I find it really interesting that the people that in that instance tore you down are actually the people that are doing work as well.
They're doing it as well.
I find it so interesting. It's like when someone, and I think this is what happens a lot, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like when women get into the spotlight, when women stand up and they're owning their voice, they're speaking, people feel threatened by it. They're like, well, there's not enough to go around. She'll take from my success. Do you feel that as well?
Yeah, there's a scarcity mindset. If she's up there being a speaker, that means she's taking my speaking opportunities. Or if she's up there being interviewed, that means all of the clients will go to her, it's a scarcity mindset. At the root of it, it's a scarcity mindset. And there is no room for that, if you ask me. If you want to be successful in whatever you're doing, if you approach your business with there's only so much that can go around, there's only so many clients, you will struggle for clients. It's a self-perpetuating thought. You will struggle for clients and you will feel like people are going to your competitors because that's your mindset.
Yeah.
That's what you're putting out into the universe every day is it's hard, it's a struggle, there's not many clients to go around. But if you understand, and not just understand, but embrace the fact that the universe is abundant in every way. There is nearly 8 billion people on this planet. You look around at nature, abundance is everywhere. And if you choose to believe that you've got that unlimited potential within your business too, it will fulfill like that.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I agree. I also want to take us back to that woman that's feeling like, okay, I'm not confident enough. She's scared of judgment. She's a bit scared of imposter syndrome. First step, would you say, is overcoming that fear of judgment. You're someone that's in the spotlight all the time. You, as you said, can get judged whether you're not speaking up or whether you are speaking up.
Yeah.
What would be, that next step? Do you think that the fear of judgment is the only thing blocking them from stepping up and being visible online?
Not the only thing. No. Fear of judgment and lack of education around what to say, how to say it.
Yeah.
So that structure. Most of the women that enter my She Speaks program will say one of two things. I have so much to say, I wouldn't know where to start.
Yeah.
Or I don't have much of a story. What do I say? Now, if you're a human being on planet Earth, you've got a story. Trust me. All of our stories are very different. And I always like to say, your stories don't have to be big and huge and traumatic to make a difference. We've all got a story. Once you have the foundations and the structure around what to share, what to say, what to leave out, because not everything is appropriate for an audience. Yeah. Just because something happened to you doesn't mean it belongs on a reel talking to an audience. There needs to be an element of discernment there about what is shared. So I think once they learn how to structure what they're going to say and practice, particularly the practical elements, let's say talking on camera, for example, a lot of people won't know that the light source needs to be behind the phone. Let's say we're doing a reel. The light source needs to be behind the phone shining on your face. And the best light for that is a big open window with natural light. You don't need fancy studio lights. You don't need microphones. Oh, I have to tell you, I did a reel this morning about, you know how everyone holds the little...
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need to do that. We need to stop. Because if you have one of the latest iPhones, can't say the same for Android because I'm an iPhone user, but I'm sure it's the same. If you have one of the latest ones, the inbuilt microphone capability, if you're in a quiet room, 30 or 40 centimeters away from the camera, no background noise, you don't need to be holding that little fluffy thing. So many people are like, I don't have a microphone. You don't need a microphone.
I feel like because everyone does it and you're calling me out because I
Everybody
definitely have done it.
I'm sure there's a lot of people. But you see, I'm curious to know why you started. Did you think you needed it or you thought makes you look more professional?
To be honest, correct, everyone was doing it. But I also was like, oh, maybe my audio quality will sound better coming from a microphone.
Did you ever listen to the difference?
To be honest, it's not that much difference.
No, and that's it. For the effort,
Yeah.
it's not that different. And I think a lot of people will stop themselves from doing things like showing up on camera because they don't think they have the right equipment. But really, you need a big window and put the phone up in front of it. If you don't have a tripod, balance it on some baskets or some glasses. There's always ways around it. And once you start practicing, once you start doing the thing, it becomes less and less scary. It becomes less unfamiliar and more familiar each time we do it, even if it's just 1% closer to feeling more familiar. And that's what I always suggest. We start, just do the thing. Do the thing, press record, start speaking, and slowly but surely it will feel less like a threat in your body. Yeah. And speaking of threats in our bodies, so many women I speak to think that there's something wrong with them because they feel that fear. Because perhaps when they stand on stage, their heart is beating so fast that it feels like it's going to jump out of their chest. Their hands get sweaty. They get cotton mouth, all of the things. And they think, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just get up on a stage or press record with confidence? But I want you to know that if that happens to you, your body is actually doing a great job at keeping you safe because that little tiny almond-shaped part of our brain, the amygdala, it's like the body's threat detector.
Yeah.
So it thinks a flashing light and a recording sign or 100 pairs of eyeballs staring at you is a real-life threat. And it can't tell the difference between that and a saber-toothed tiger running at you. So it's doing what it's meant to do. It's like, abort the situation, get out of here. So if you accept that, know that you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. And work through things, the breathing. Breathing, our breath is so, so important. And if you take nothing else away from this conversation besides not using the microphone, then if you exhale longer than you inhale, that is the most soothing thing for your nervous system. Just exhale longer than you inhale. That gives a signal to your body. It's safe, we're good, it's okay. That's all you need to focus on. You will still feel the thumping heart. It'll just get a little less each time. And I know that that's what stops so many people from starting things in the first place is, but I feel scared. I'll do it when I don't feel scared. And that never happens.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 22 years. I just turned 43. I got into this whole space when I was 18, so that's probably more than 22 years. Yeah, it is, and I'm not really good at maths. I've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
And I still, in big audiences or if I'm filming a television commercial or something, I will get the butterflies. I will get the beating heart. But the difference is I tell myself, and I tell my clients to do this all the time, I'm excited. Because your words can either sabotage you or support you.
Yeah.
And if you tell yourself, I'm excited, I'm really excited, this is a great opportunity, I'm really excited, rather than, oh my God, I'm so scared, I'm shitting myself, this is going to be awful. The difference, you feel the same, But your dialogue is supporting you. It's telling yourself you're excited. So that's what I do. I tell all my clients to do that. And of course, I've had 20-something years experience.
Yeah, of course. Everyone, I don't know whether you know Nicole from like before. I think I told you once before. I was like, I remember you on a stage cooking like salted caramel slice in like the
In a
wellness
past life.
space.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, you've done such an evolution and evolved. And I loved what you said about I think in our course we did like a one-day speaking workshop, and that's one thing I took away from it. It's like, because I was nervous. I remember that getting up in front of people, and I am a person, I told you, like I was valedictorian. I spoke to hundreds of people in front of it, and I was like, I don't have a public speaking problem. But as soon as I was up there, I was like, my heart was pounding. Nicole tells me that I talk really fast, which I still do.
Pause. Put some full stops and commas in your verbal speech, Monique.
But the thing I took away was, just because you're nervous, it's because you're excited. Reframe it.
Reframe.
Which
It's
I think
such
is
a powerful reframe.
so important. And I definitely feel like I actually have a friend, when you were talking about not wanting to post online and press go.
Press record.
I think she recorded a video like 3 times but still didn't post it because probably the thought of what people see. But I also think for women, the perfectionism, like it's not perfect. It's not good enough.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because I tell you what, the imperfections of humans is what's going to save humanity. We are in the age of AI everything. I don't know if you've seen or not, but you can now get AI twins that will be your video twin.
Really?
You can give them all the photos and your voice. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. And so many people are leaning towards it, thinking that they can show up online with their AI twin that's not them. And it's so cringingly perfect. The visuals are perfect. Like this woman, flawless. They don't stumble over their words. There's no natural mannerisms. It's all very, very fake. And I would go so far as to say humans want imperfection. We want real. We don't want perfect. So I have posted many times, so many times, even when I've done lives or when I'm on stories, and I might trip over a word or take 3, like I'm doing right now, take a little bit longer to find the word because I'm a human.
Yeah.
I'm a human. Nobody wants a perfect, polished human being staring back at them, because we're getting that now with AI. And video, this is why showing up on video. It's one thing to take photos of yourself, but showing up on video is so important, because the AI generated images now they're everywhere. I showed you just before my new photo shoot.
Stunning. Stunning, by the way.
My new era. But I could have had that done with AI. I could have found someone to do that, put me in that beautiful setting, in that beautiful outfit, and give them a few photos of me, and I could have done that. There are apps out now that do that for you. They are a little harder to detect. I think I'm pretty good at it because they always look flawless. They look ridiculously perfect. But with video, that's when you get to show yourself. And if you're online for a business, which a lot of people are, for people to buy from you, particularly if you've got high ticket items, they need to know you, they need to like you, they need to trust you. And the fastest way to do that is video. There's that old saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, then I would say a video is worth 1 million.
I love that.
It goes so much further than a picture could ever do. And if it's real, if it's rooted in humanness, if there's a few little slip-ups or just some funny mannerisms that make me feel like, hey, you're real, I like you, I trust you. Yeah. If I want to buy from you, you're the person for me, not this fake imagery, outsourcing our voices to robots. I'm so against that.
Yeah.
I'm really against business owners, anyone really, thinking that they can outsource all of that to AI and say, oh, I'm showing up online. People can see through that. We know. I actually was on YouTube the other day, and I was listening to, I found the best manifestation music track. I'll share it with you.
Please send.
It's incredible. My little 6-year-old sings it too. And I'm looking at it, and then this ad pops up, and I did a double take. I was like, Oprah? And she was selling this weight loss thing. So obviously it wasn't Oprah. But at first it was, oh my gosh. And then I kept watching and there was little blips and glitches and if you watch the mouth, that's where they don't get it. Some of them are pretty damn close, but I could see the glitches in it. And that's where people are headed. And if you look closely, I don't know if you've seen any, that you don't feel it because one, it's not a human, it's not real. And there's a real incongruence between what you're seeing and what you're hearing. And the brain tends to believe what it sees over what it hears. So she might have, this pretend Oprah, what she was saying might have been factually correct. But the way it was coming out, I went, hang on, this is weird. And I couldn't put my finger on it until I was like, oh my God, this is AI. So it's just so super important to share our humanness, to embrace our vulnerabilities and imperfections and not feel like, oh, I'm going to show up on video because it's a perfect video.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to see perfect.
Yeah.
I do not want to see perfect at all.
I think also reflecting on that as well, full vulnerability moment, the first podcast I had released, I didn't listen to it fully back. And I realized that there was edited parts that I should have edited out. It's like a bit more a bit more pauses than I wanted. And I freaked out because to me, I have that perfectionism self, like it's always must be perfect or it's not good enough. That's my grade 7 self coming out. But I had that moment and people that listened to it was like, oh no, but it's so raw. It's so authentic. They loved it because it was more imperfect. And I think it's really hard. As women, I definitely think we have it more than men. We feel like we have to be this perfect version of ourselves to people to think that we are
good enough.
Yeah, good enough, that we're knowledgeable enough, that we're a leader in the space. You must be perfect and polished. So I could not agree.
I want to get rid of that whole perfect and polished. I don't want perfect and polished. I don't want perfect and polished food. I don't want my friends to be perfect and polished. I don't want perfect and polished experiences. The imperfections are what makes that.
Yeah.
And we're exactly the same.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It is just, I feel like that is a breath of fresh air for people. It's like, oh my gosh, I can be, especially to my friend who could not post a reel because she didn't feel like it was good enough. And I do feel like that happens all the time. I would love, speaking about a post you did, it was a while ago. You said, fake it till you make it is a terrible advice.
I was going to say, I didn't say that.
No,
I hate that advice.
Exactly. But I feel like it's advice that gets thrown around all the time. Just fake it till you make it, act as if fake it.
Yeah.
So what should we be doing instead?
Excellent question. Feel it until you become it.
What does that mean?
So instead of, well, let's backtrack. So saying fake it till you make it, and when you say to yourself, I'm just faking it till I make it, we're telling our brain that we are faking it. So those feelings of being an imposter and being a fraud are amplified because we're telling ourselves, I'm faking it, I'm not real. Whereas if you, again, that self-talk, we are wanting to support ourselves, not sabotage with the self-talk. If we're telling ourselves, I'm going to do the best that I can, I am going to show up. Let's just say you've given yourself a challenge I do this with my clients a lot on camera confidence, show up every day on camera for 30 days. With fitness, I am going to put my socks and shoes on every morning and just walk out the door. Whatever it is, I've committed to this. I'm following through. I'm keeping my promise to myself. Whatever that self-talk needs to look like, so that you feel good. Because we don't change, human beings don't change when we feel bad.
Yeah.
BJ Fogg, the author of Tiny Habits. It's Tiny Habits. I have to check that. He says we don't change if we feel bad. So the way that we berate ourselves and get down on ourselves and punish ourselves, we don't make lasting change like that. Yeah. So we need to feel good and safe within our bodies until slowly we get to the version that we're working towards.
Yeah.
So allowing yourself the progress, allowing yourself to be a beginner. If you've never spoken on a stage before or never spoken on camera, then you're not going to know what to do. You are probably going to suck your first time, and that's okay. It's allowing yourself to be the beginner, and with that mindset comes a better, more understanding feeling of, okay, I'm doing this. I've got this. This is okay. I'm getting better every day. One of my favorite phrases, and this is why I don't like affirmations. I am wealthy. I am this. I am that. Because again, every time you say that, your brain cannot let that slide. I am wealthy when you can't pay your mortgage or you.
It doesn't believe it.
It doesn't believe it.
Yeah.
So saying every day in every way, I'm getting wealthier and wealthier. You can get on board with that. So we need to do things that make our brain a little more comfortable in that situation so that we can work towards where we're wanting to go. So feel it until you become it is slowly allowing yourself to work towards where you want to go without lying to yourself. Because if you don't feel uber confident and I'm confident, I can do this, I can do this. Just change the self-talk around, I'm here for myself, I'm showing up for myself, I'm committed to doing this, I can do this one step at a time. Like you would talk to your child or your best friend. If you saw your best friend struggling with this, you would not yell at her and tell her to harden up, come on, just press record, do it, stop being such a baby. You wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But we say it to ourselves.
Yeah.
So again, it goes back to the way that we speak to ourselves. Super important.
I think that's such a good advice. I've always been, even in functional medicine, etc., in someone's health journey, it's like little micro actions then build the momentum. So it's not going from like, I can't do all these things to doing 10 different things at once because that's what someone said you should be doing. Adding in micro things to build that belief so that you feel that. I really love that.
The micro helps the macro to happen. It's the little steps, no matter what it is. Like you said, with health, with confidence, learning a new skill, learning to play tennis. You're not going to go out and play Roger Federer in your first game. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah. How did you build that then? If it's something, that can be built or that belief that can be built. You've done it for more than 22 years if we're doing the maths. But how did you get that? Especially because you've been on TV. You've started so young.
Yeah. Well, just as you said that, a flash, an image came to my mind of when the first time I sung in front of people, and I was actually in year 8.
Yeah.
So I was 12. So now we're going back like 30-something years. And I've always I never had a problem with trying, with starting. So it would be, let's just do it. Again, I still remember how scared I was. I remember Mrs. Broomhall was my music teacher and we had to sing Lean on Me. Oh. And I remember looking at all of my classmates, heart in the chest, and I said to myself, I can do this. I've got this. I can do this. It wasn't my greatest performance, but I went on to continue. I just kept trying. The bottom line is I just kept trying. So many of us will have an experience where they could say, I flopped on stage or I was ridiculed, and then that's it. Until they get some help and therapy around it, that's it. The amount of women I speak to that will not speak in front of more than, say, 2 people in a room because of what happened to them back in grade 3.
Really?
Oh, it's so common. Or they put their hand up in a class and answered a question in grade 7 and the whole class laughed at them.
Yeah.
Which reinforced that belief. What I have to say doesn't matter.
Don't speak up.
Don't speak up.
Yeah.
And so so when you were a kid, you were doing what you had to do. Absolutely. But now that you're an adult, if you keep using that as an excuse, you need to get the fuck out of your own way. You need to deal with that because there's a visibility tax. If you don't put yourself out there, if you don't stand up for what you believe in, speak about your story, share your story, there's an opportunity that you're missing out on. Opportunities, plural. That's the tax you pay for staying invisible.
Yeah.
The opportunities, money on the table, relationships. Like I think of all the things that have come into my life because I've put myself out there, because I have took the risk of being rejected. And I tell you what, being in the film and TV industry for over 20 years does that. The amount of auditions I've gone for. You go in a room very similar to this and they basically look you up and down, turn around. If it's a speaking role, you might do some lines and then you're out within a few minutes. Most of the time you don't get any feedback whatsoever about why you didn't get the job. You just don't get the job. And that's hundreds of times over the 20 years that I haven't got something.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, when I was younger, when I first got into the game, so and I say younger, but it was quite late to get into modeling and TV commercials and things, was my first commercial was when I was 18. I was in a Hungry Jack's commercial, and that was really easy. I think I got my first one, actually, to be honest. I was, well, this is easy, going for a thing, get paid 10 grand to be on a Hungry Jack's. This is fabulous. And then there was this string of not getting very many. And that's when I started to take it really personally. I had my little bouts with eating disorders and all of that. So actually, when you first came across me, that was me taking control of that narrative and changing it.
I love that.
That was me talking publicly about having an eating disorder and what it was like to go to auditions with modelling agents that would look at you and say, have you ever thought about not eating bread again, Nicole? Or Pilates twice a day would really help that area, and constantly. So that there was a period, obviously, in my life then where I didn't take the rejection well at all.
No one would.
No, you don't.
Being
no.
criticised for the way you look. Or
Exactly. A
rejected
young
all the time.
woman being criticised for the way that she looks. And now in my 40s, I mean, it kind of happened in my 30s. I'm like, you don't like this, that's your loss. Really? Like, I'll walk into auditions now. Actually, sometimes I go, you know what? Just send them a photo of me. I've been doing this for too long. If they want me, they want me. I'm not coming to the audition. I've got that self-belief and self-confidence in me now because I know rather that my self-worth doesn't hinge on what somebody else tells about me.
Yeah.
What a modelling agent, what a casting director, anyone, what the people on Instagram, what your critics might say about you. And as I say the word critics, it reminds me of something, I've got a few posts ready to go on this, is particularly for women who are using social media for their business. Your content is for your customers, not your critics. You write for them. You share with them. You post for them, not the people, not your ex-boyfriend from 1999, not the crazy lady that lives next door, not the bitchy mums at the pickup line. You're not writing for them. You're not speaking to them. And one of the biggest bits of advice I can give when it comes to speaking on camera and even on stage, speak to one person. Speak to that dream client, that ideal client, the person that you most want to help. Speak to them. Picture them. And sometimes you can even get a little photo. If you've got a client that is an ideal client that you could times 100 and you'd love your business if all your clients were like that, have a little photo of them behind your phone. So when you're speaking to camera, you're talking to her.
Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. Such
really
a good
powerful
idea as well. Because I do think it's, again, what we talked about, that fear of what other people think. But going back to that version of you, I'm just imagining that whole concept that you talked about, your self-worth, was impacted. And I do feel like a lot of people, self-worth is a huge impact of why they don't show up on camera. You've obviously had to develop a really thick skin. It was like trial and error, rejection. But not everybody gets rejection. I guess, it's that initiation, not wanting to start. So if someone, again, is struggling with self-worth and, again, affecting their visibility and their ability to show up, what would you say to them?
If there's some big situation or something that happened, like we were mentioning, the thing in grade 7, the thing in grade 3, silenced by an abusive partner or something like that, then my first bit of advice would be go and get help for that. Whatever that is, if it's talking therapy, somatic therapy, Kundalini yoga, whatever your jam is, go and sort that shit out. As the adult now, you are responsible to that younger version of you to sort that out so you don't have to carry that around. So that would be the first one, depending on what it is. Not everybody has like a big story that I guess would stop them. And the second thing would be give yourself – actually, I think I might just share this little 30-day challenge that I give to a lot of the clients is for the first 5 days, particularly if you hate the sound of your own voice or you cringe at the sound of your own voice, which, by the way, I'll backtrack. I do want to explain this. Have you ever thought that you don't like it? Okay.
Listening back to
do
my
you know
stuff.
why?
Why?
So when we listen to our voice, it's called bone conduction. It's coming through our skull. So the way we hear it is more rich, more warm, more deep. The way other people hear it is actually the sound of our voice. We're not used to it. So when you listen to something back and you're like, oh, that's very jarring.
I sound like a 5-year-old on the phone, like not even joking.
You think you do, and then you hear it back, and it's such a disconnect with what you think you sound like. So straight away you're like, oh my God, I sound disgusting. I hate the sound of my voice. Ugh. And we carry on. But actually, all you need to do is give yourself some compassion there and also allow yourself to get familiar with that. So keep listening to it. So the first 5 days of this 30-day challenge, I say, on your voice recorder on your phone, just talk to it while you're going for a walk, while you're getting dinner ready, whatever it is. Just chat. Have a general chat, 30 seconds to a minute. Then listen to it back. Make listening to your voice back a part of your routine.
Yeah.
So you're starting to go, okay, yep, that's what I sound like. I remember when I first learned that, when I hear myself or when I heard myself back, what? Oh my gosh, I sound so high pitched. I thought I had like a deeper voice.
Yeah.
We all think we have a deeper, more richer voice than we actually do. So the more that you listen to it, one, where it's like that exposure therapy, you're just going to keep listening to it. Then what you can do for the next week is just a few days, if you've never done it, pop your phone on tripod and just talk to it. Don't record, just talk. Get used to talking to the little black rectangle, which, let's be honest, is not natural. But in this day and age, we got to get good at it. So just talk. Just while you're making dinner, while you're getting the kids' lunches ready, while you're going on a walk, just talk. Just talk to it. Then the next step, record it. Don't post it anywhere. Just record it and watch it back with compassion. Watch it back like you're watching back your child or a best friend. Again, getting used to listening to it and just see, do I talk really fast? Do I talk too slow? Do I say a lot? Do I say a lot? Do I say so a lot? Filler words.
Yeah.
Do I speak high? Do I have upspeak? So upspeak is when, if you can picture a sentence with a question mark at the end of it, you would go up. So what time are we meeting today? We go up. Some people will put upspeak in their general talking and they don't need it. So just looking out, what is it? Do I go crazy with my hands? Am I stiff? What's my body language like? What's my energy like? Do I look bored? So all these things you can ask yourself. And then one thing at a time you want to focus on. So if it's too fast, okay, for this next few videos, I'm going to really focus on pausing between my words. I'm going to really punctuate that full stop in my verbal speech.
Yeah.
Maybe the next few days it could be more energy. If you feel like you're a bit monotonous, a bit boring, start to think you're a play school presenter and really go over the top. Go over the top. If you've ever watched Play School, they are
So exaggerated.
They are OTT, but you've got to be, right? You've got to hold kids' attention. So maybe just stretch your range a little bit to go all the way to the top with the big smiles and the big hands, knowing that you're not going to speak like that, but it's stretching your range a little bit. And you do that over 30 days. The last week, it's all about posting. So put it on stories. It's exposure therapy at its finest. So there's no trick. There's no click this button and all of a sudden you'll feel more confident. It's a gradual, like we were saying before, it's the micro steps.
Yeah.
And if you do that, I promise you, if you do that for 30 days, compare yourself from the first time you recorded to the last time, you'll blow yourself away.
I love that advice. I'm all a big fan of tangible advice. So thank you. One thing, obviously, I thought you were going to rock up in red, and I said that. I was like, Nicole, where is the red?
Where is the red?
And when we talk about where you were when you were 18 and then you went on a wellness journey and obviously speaking up about that, you were on TV for different things. Then you went to She Speaks and it was speaking on stage, which you still do and you're still really good at, and sharing your story and other women's story is such a big advocate for you and you love that. But now you're transitioning again, pivoting.
Yeah.
Same umbrella.
I want to say rather than a pivot, it's an expansion.
I love this.
Yeah, it's an expansion. So because of my history of being on camera and presenting and television commercials and all the things, I know how to show up on camera and engage the audience and get noticed. And it's funny, I used to do this a few years ago when I had a different coaching container, nothing to do with She Speaks. I did a whole module. I did so much teaching on how to show up confidently. And In fact, anyone that I've ever worked with always says in the feedback, I feel so much more confident now that I've worked with you. And for a variety of reasons, the universe gave to me, why don't you add some camera confidence to this She Speaks umbrella as well? And I thought, absolutely, because not everybody has a desire to get up on stage.
So true.
I do believe that everybody has the capacity, but if you don't want to, if you don't really want to, I'm not going to force you to. But if you've got a business on Instagram, you 100%, for all the aforementioned reasons that we've spoken about today, need to be showing up on video. So that's now part of what I do. So I've got the online programs, I've got the one-day workshop that's coming up now, and that's going to include more camera confidence as well. And then I work with my private clients. So all in all, it's about being visible.
Yeah.
It's all about visibility. It's showing up when you don't feel like it. It's showing up, standing up for and sharing what you believe in, no matter who wants to talk about it behind your back. There is a vulnerability in being visible.
Yeah, totally.
100%. People will talk about you. People will judge you. I am not going to say that they won't, because that would be outright lying to you. In my opinion, visibility isn't vanity though. It's leadership. We need to see women out there, not hiding behind trending audio, not hiding behind dancing reels, and not hiding solely behind photo shoots. We need to see these women speaking, whether it be on camera or on stage, sharing their opinions, sharing their stories. In my opinion, far too many people underestimate the power of their story. Your story is not for you to keep. It will inspire others. Just by sharing it, it unlocks within another woman their healing or their next level. You never know how much of an impact your story has on someone. And I am a huge advocate in leading with stories. We've all got so many stories.
Yeah.
And they can make such a difference to people listening.
Yeah, I think you've always said, like, your story is your superpower. But I do feel like I'm hearing other women be like, but my story's not good enough. It's not, will someone even find it inspiring? And you're just like you said before, there's big stories, there's trauma stories, and sometimes there's not that. And a lot of women feel like they don't have a story to share. So what would you say to that?
I heard quite a few years ago, a 1 in a million story will relate with 1 in a million people, but an everyday story will relate with everyone.
Oh, I love that.
So you don't need to, I think that was Pat Quinn. I can't remember exactly.
You're very good remembering names. That's
I know. I want women who say that their story is not big enough. There's a couple of reasons there. A lot of the time they think their story is not big enough, or they get bored by their story because they've been living their story for their entire lives.
True.
And they think it's boring, and they think, no one wants to hear about this. But we haven't heard it. We don't know it like they do. So when they learn to share it in a specific way, and there is a specific way to share a story, then the impact is so far-reaching. I don't think you will ever be able to comprehend, whether it's someone that grabs a reel on Instagram and looks at it, or they see you speaking at an event, or they read a caption that you've written where you've poured your heart out, how much of a difference that makes. And for those big stories, and some of my private clients at the moment, they've got some of the biggest unimaginable tragic stories that you will ever hear. It's not so much about the story though, it's what the lessons learnt through that can do for the audience.
Yeah, okay.
So I will always say, whether you're speaking on stage or speaking on camera, start with the audience in mind. What's in it for them? We're all selfish, whether we like to think it or not. We're all sitting there going, what's in it for me? Like if you're sitting at an event space and the speaker gets up, what am I going to take away from this? What am I going to learn? You need to tell them straight up what they're going to learn about it. So a couple of things there is your story's nowhere near as boring as you think it is, because no one else has heard it. And it's not so much about the story, but the lessons that you can then share with your audience.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is so good, because I do think it's the everyday that's relatable to people. And there's those lessons that you can learn. Like, I remember when we did a one-day speaking workshop, I was like, I have a big story. I'm going to share my big story. But I think out of it, no one can relate to my story, but they can relate to what I got out of it.
Yes.
The experiences that I had, how I felt through it. And they can then parallel it to their
apply it to
experience.
their
Yeah.
lives. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think even just giving someone the confidence and the tools to be able to share their story, their everyday story, because you talk about, visibility. It's so important in business, but in general, in life,
general, yes.
for women that have big dreams or they want to do something. What do you think it's costing people if they're not visible?
Opportunities, relationships, money, sales, so much. And in addition to that too, what example are we setting to the next generation?
Yeah.
If you've got daughters and you're scared of being seen and you don't speak up and you don't share your story, what are they learning from you?
Yeah.
They're learning it's not safe to share my story. It's not safe to be seen. It's not safe to stand up. So as a mother myself, but you don't need to be a mother to adhere to this advice, is we owe it to the next generation to show them the way, what it's like to stand up and share your story, even if no one listens, even if people reject you, even if people judge you, not even if, when
They will.
When people judge you. So I think there is a greater responsibility than, yes, there's the money losses, the opportunities, the collaborations, all of those things. But deeper than that, we're not setting a great example by staying hidden.
Yeah. And I think coming back to what you said too before, it's like in a world where perfection is becoming the normal, having that story that's sharing that vulnerable side, whether that's just for the generation, whether that's for your kids, whether that's just for in front of your friends or your relationships, to be vulnerable to someone else and share that part of you.
Be human.
Be human.
Because AI can't do that. AI might write you a speech, but it will not write your story. You are the only one that knows your story. And if you don't learn to get it out and structure it in a way that you can deliver it with confidence, it's going to stay hidden in you, which means you're not going to impact the people that you want to impact. You're not setting that example. And more than that, there's a part of you that is left unhealed. Sharing your story is very healing. I'd say that would be one of the number one pieces of feedback I get from the women who have taken the She Speaks stage is, I did it. I can move past that now. That was the final stage. The amount of testimonials I get saying that was the final stage of my healing, particularly for those women that had the big stories. They will say that was the final piece of my healing puzzle. So there's so much. If a story stays hidden, there's so much that's at stake.
So you said that there's a steps and structure to be telling your story.
Yes.
Obviously, we could probably talk about this for ages, but if there was a little advice, someone wanting to share their story, what would you say first up?
The first question that you need to ask yourself is, what do I want my audience to get from this? We've all got we might think, what's your story? And you think of one big story. We've actually got so many. We've all got so many. So we need to choose a story that carries that main message. So I want you to think of your story as the vehicle that carries your message to your audience. Because as I said before, we are wired for stories. We lean in when somebody tells a story. We lean out when somebody tries to sell. So if we can start with a story that's going to lead them to where we want to go, that's number one. But you need to differentiate what that place is. Where do you want them to go?
Like their why.
What's that takeaway?
Yeah.
You want them to think what? You want them to feel what? You want them to do what?
Yeah.
What's that thing? Start there first and then look at the parts of your story that actually correlate with that. Don't just share it for the sake of sharing it. Again, what's in it for them?
Yeah.
That would be my number one piece of advice. What's in it for them? And know that you don't have to share absolutely every detail on stage. And the last little bit I'll add to that is when you are sharing your story, don't recount it like a resume. It's not a chronological thing. So what I mean by that is, instead of saying, when I was 20, I had an eating disorder, you would say, I'll never forget the day. It was summer 2020. I was sitting on my brown couch surrounded by about 50 lolly wrappers. I just binged again. See, I can feel.
I'm hooked.
Did you feel the energy? The
Totally.
That is the difference in recounting something. Oh, this happened, to get your audience into that room where you were. Make them feel what you felt, see what you saw, and go from there rather than, oh, I had this happen to me. Big distinction.
Huge difference. Like you can feel the difference and you just want to keep knowing
It took
more.
me back there because that's my story.
Yeah.
That's the day I went, I need help.
Wow.
That's the day I called the Butterfly Foundation.
Oh
Actually,
my
it's the first time
gosh.
I went, I have a problem. I've just binged again.
Wow. That is, and it's so powerful you telling it that way as well.
And it doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be this beautifully written paragraph. It's normally shorter, sharper sentences when we're really trying to create that setting again.
Yeah.
But we both felt it. It's completely different.
I was like, please tell me everything. Once we finish this, debrief me all. Okay, to wrap up, before we finish up and we close up, if you could leave the women listening with one piece of advice, one key takeaway that you want them to remember after this episode, what would it be? I know it's like a very hard question.
Your story is your superpower. You said that before. I really want women to understand that whatever they've gone through, not only is it healing for them to share, but the impact that they're craving to make, particularly if they're a woman listening to this podcast, I know that they're heart-led and they want to make an impact. The story is the way they do that.
I love that so much. And it's something that stuck with me, obviously. And it's something that always, when I see you, it's something that you lead so well in all your content, in all your messages. Your stories are so powerful, not only by the way you say it and how you say it, but you make such a big difference in people's lives just by sharing your story and your experiences, but helping other women do the same.
Thank you.
Of course. So before we end, every one of my guests has her file. So,
I saw that there. I'm like, oh, what is this? I love it.
So what it is we've talked all about other women and tips and confidence, but this gets us a little bit into you.
Okay.
So we can know about the woman behind, how you became who you are today, and all the pivots and the transitions and everything you've done. So I'm going to hand over her file. In there are 3 questions. You can pick whichever one comes out at you.
Okay.
Read the question aloud.
I'm so excited.
And answer it, just whatever comes to your head first up.
Okay. So the question I've chosen is, what's a moment that completely changed how you see yourself? So Lucia, I was breastfeeding Lucia. No, not breastfeeding because I couldn't breastfeed. That's a whole nother story in itself. I was feeding Lucia in the nursery. I was sitting on the beautiful rocking chair we had. She was on my lap and there was a mirrored wardrobe that was opposite me. And at that stage, I used to straighten the shit out of my hair. I've got naturally curly hair. I still blow dry it, but I would straighten the crap out of it. And I'm holding my little girl and I'm looking into the mirror and I thought, why are you doing that? Why are you changing who you are, who you really are? You've got a little girl. When she grows up, she's going to see you with the GHD every day, like straightening the shit out of your hair. No, that's not okay. And literally from that day, I want to say for a year and a bit, I did not touch the straightener and I embraced my natural curls.
Yeah.
I learnt how to care for my curls for the first time ever. And now I go between. I sometimes blow dry it and I sometimes curl it. But I used to hide, and it might sound superficial, but I used to hide the curls. Every single audition I ever went to, I always straightened my hair. My boyfriend, who's now husband at the time, didn't see my natural curls until we were 2 years into the relationship. Mm-hmm.
Even after a shower?
Well, because I've got such a massive mane of hair, I don't wash my hair once a week.
Yeah.
Once a week. So it wasn't something I would have to do every day. Yeah. So he would see it, and then I'd make sure he's gone, and then I'd go through the whole straightening process. But I'll never forget that moment. I remember looking up, holding Lucia and looking in the mirror and just went, why are you changing yourself for? And this is not about hair. This goes deeper than hair. It was more about not embracing all the parts of me. And as a mother, there's nothing that has brought me to my knees quicker and more often than becoming a mother. But that moment's really pivotal. And now I've blow dried my hair today, but I do both and I don't feel less than now. I used to think with my curly hair, I didn't look like the girls in the magazines. I didn't look like the girls on TV with their perfectly blow dried hair. Certainly didn't look like a Victoria's Secret model. And I wanted the beautiful straight hair. So I used to hide it. I used to depend on no one seeing that.
Yeah.
And now it's curly hair, straight hair, wavy hair, whatever it is. It's all me. And I love all parts of it.
So being safe to show all of you.
All of me.
Exactly as you are. I love that. It's so beautiful.
Beautiful question.
Well, thank you, Nicole. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And I know everyone would have got so much value. So if they want to find you, tell us the details. Where can they find you?
I hang out on Instagram a lot. So Nicole Joy _official is where I am. And from there's all the links to the website, which is just NicoleJoyOfficial.com. But think of Nicole Joy Official, you'll find me.
I know, she has the best name ever. I'm always like, was she named this at birth?
It's my middle name. Nicole Joy is my middle
is
name.
it?
I was named after my Italian grandmother.
Oh.
And she actually had the name Giuseppina, which is Italian, obviously Italian. And I got Joy. And funnily enough, I hated my middle name growing up. Hated it. Nicole Joy. And now that's all I go by. But sorry, hubby, your last name's just not. It just doesn't
Just
have the
Nicole
same
Joy.
ring. It's Nicole Joy.
Well, thank you, Nicole.
My pleasure.